Chomo is on a first date and I really hope it goes well for him. But then Chomo does something that most guys do. He begins to tell her everything about his life. Oh, I wake up at 2 p.m. and I'm quite lonely and I love to play BGMI. She gets less and less attracted to him and eventually ghosts him. Shaktiman is not like Chomo and he knows the importance of telling stories. The ability to tell a story well can literally transform your life. It can make you stand out on a first date or be the difference between your business succeeding and failing. According to a recent study, 65% of our conversations are consumed of stories and gossip. So right now you are going to learn 3 of the most important principles that will help you to tell more engaging stories in any environment. And this is the same framework that great storytellers like Steve Jobs used to keep you hooked and listening to them. And like Steve Jobs once said, the most important person in the world is a storyteller. Also, I'm gonna give you a free cheat sheet at the end of the video. So watch till the end to become a better storyteller than 99% of the people. So to craft beautiful stories, we need to have stories, right? For that, I need you to do a practice that's called homework for life. What you do is create note slide or a file anywhere on your phone, on your computer, or just in a diary and write down the most story worthy moment in your day. And you can write it down in points so that you can craft those stories later and remember them. Step 1 is 5-second life-changing moment. Every great story is about a 5-second life-changing moment. And what I mean by a 5-second moment is a moment in the story where the hero or the main person goes through a 5-second life-changing moment by realizing something. It is a super short moment in someone's life about how they see things and it completely changes them. It's like a lightning bolt of a realization or a big decision made just in a few seconds. Think of it as a tiny event that has a huge impact, like meeting someone special or realizing an important truth about yourself. It's a powerful moment that can connect with others and make the story really emotional and powerful. For example, in the movie Lion King, there's a moment where Simba watches his dad die. Sad moment is quick, but changes how Simba sees things. It filled him with guilt and led him to believe that he was responsible for his father's death. Here, Simba feels guilt for his father's death. That was his 5-second moment that led to a huge impact in the story. See how it connects things. See how it relates to you. You saw how it connected to you. Without a 5-second moment, you cannot relate to a person. Also, the 5-second moment should be the end of your story. Step 2. How to start a story. The starting of your story and the ending of your story should be completely opposite. This is what gives you a story arc. Example, if the start of your story is sad, then the end should be happy. If the start is happy, then the end should be sad. If the start is anger, the end should be the complete opposite of anger. Whatever is at the start should be completely opposite of the end. It's like starting with an idea or a feeling and then going through a journey that gives you a totally different understanding or perspective by then. This change and reflection make the story more interesting and meaningful. Also, here's a bonus tip. Start your story with some action going on in the beginning. For example, use sentences like, yesterday I was running from. Great movies start with action going on. Like Dark Knight started with a bank robbery going on. Step number 3 is how to keep people engaged. To keep people engaged, you need to do 2 things. First, make them imagine a story. And second, use stakes in your story. So to make them imagine the story, you need to have background in your story. And by background, I mean a place, the kitchen, the bedroom, the hall, the garden, anything. People need to imagine the story. So add a place where they can see things happening. They need to imagine the story. If they can't imagine, they won't listen. And the second thing to keep people hooked, using stakes. There are 3 most important stakes used in every single good movie that you see. The first is called backpacks, which means to load up your audience with hints and expectation about what's coming next to keep them curious. For example, in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, the backpack is Harry's mysterious scar and his unknown connection to Voldemort. This keeps us curious about his destiny. The second thing is breadcrumbs, which means dropping hints about future events without giving everything away. keep the audience guessing and intriguing about what's the next thing gonna happen. Dropping breadcrumb is a powerful technique because you give them enough information to start guessing what's going to happen, but not enough that they guess right. Every time your audience thinks one thing and you deliver something completely different, you pique their interest for at least a minute. Do this over and over again, and you have an audience hanging on your every word. And the last thing is called an hourglass, where you pause before the big reveal, which is your 5 second moment. Just stop right before the climax. I know you're tempted to give away your climax to tell your 5 second moment, but just stop. Instead, delay. Stop right before the climax and just input stupid information. Just for example, if you were gonna tell something like the man went inside the door, I started overthinking, the wind started blowing, the birds started singing, my heart started beating so loud. Put stupid information in it. Delay before the climax. For example, in Interstellar, the hourglass is when time slows down near the black hole, creating tension and anticipation as the characters started facing challenges. Okay, that's it. You are now a better storyteller than 99% of the people. The cheat sheet is gonna be in the description. Hope this helps you. Take action. Don't be a chomo. See you soon, bro.